What's up, everyone? Welcome back. I hope you guys are doing good out there. As for me, you know, I'm doing about as good as usual. Pissed off, I'm irritated, hate being alive. You know, the usual. My life is about as good as it usually is, I'll put it that way, and that's certainly sure as hell not saying much. Granted, you know, for all the shit and bullshittery that is my life, you know, it could be a hell of a lot worse. At the end of the day, anytime you go to bed with a roof over your head and food in the fridge, you really can't bitch about too much, you know? Like, yeah, there's certainly shit that could be better in my life, but again, it could be a hell of a lot worse, too. So, you know, it's not all always doom and gloom. You always gotta look at the bright side of any given situation. That's just because I'm such a fucking optimist. It's weird, because I'm like one of the most cynical people you'll ever meet, but I'm also an optimist as well. It's kind of a weird combination, but it makes sense if you meet me. I feel like it's one of those kind of things where if you kind of, you know, meet me in person, then you kind of understand the whole, like, dichotomy of how that works between me being one of the most cynical people while also still trying to be, you know, optimistic about certain things. I'm also a realist, like, you know, like, I always go into any given situation hoping that the best thing is going to happen, but always expecting and trying to be prepared for whatever the worst case scenario is as well. Because I'm at that point in my life, again, where I go into any given situation expecting that whatever's the worst and or most stupid outcome of that given situation is exactly what's going to happen, so I try to prepare for it. That's just how I do things. And I feel like that's a smart way of going about things as well. It prevents me from taking unnecessary risks, you know? Because if I go into a situation and I'm like, am I ready to handle the worst case scenario of this given situation, and if my answer is no, then I will not take a risk on something, you know. I'm definitely not what you would consider to be a risk taker. I consider myself to be very conservative in that regard. I try not to take unnecessary risks. I feel like that's a smart way of going about things. So, yeah, either way. It works for me anyway. Everyone has their own way of doing things, and that's just how I do things. So, yeah. Alright, God, I'm just doing fucking terrible today. Good lord. Alright, I must have been, like, on drugs or something when I did these matches. Like, Jesus Christ. Alright, well, either way, guys, that'll do it for that one. Peace out.